All right, welcome into the blockchain basement. My name is Harry from Dumb and Dumber, and I will be your host for today's episode of Blockchain Basement, the official BitBoy live stream after show. I'm going to be joined with a lovely cast of characters. I said costumes only today. Hey, a new subscriber, love it. Join us. We're going to be joined by a Wicked Witch. Bitcoin itself is with us here today. We've got a Galaverse Hamburglar and Mr. Meeseeks.
Hi, I'm Mr. Meeseeks. Look at me.
And he has said he's going to be in character the entire episode, so I'm going to go ahead and apologize in advance. Mr. Meeseeks does have a fair bit of crypto knowledge as well, though. So, and then of course I can't forget the first original American gangster.
Hello.
Joining us here today, our audio master. I think we've got all this stuff figured out, so hopefully you guys can hear us all. Gonna have some fun today. Obviously, it's Halloween, also Bitcoin's birthday. For many of you who don't know that, the Bitcoin white paper was released October 31st, 2008, and then the official mining began in January 2009. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that today. 14 years since the Bitcoin white paper, why it matters. We're going to get into that. We're also going to be talking about Bitcoin volatility incoming, 4 things to watch over the next 10 days. Obviously, Fed rate hikes, things like that. And then also, thank you, Corey Harden. I appreciate that. And then also Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson commenting on Dogecoin and Twitter. So we've been talking a lot about Twitter recently. So we're gonna come back to that. So real quick, I'm gonna do a quick market update. You know, since we've got Frankie Candles, the resident trader himself, joining us here today. He is. Can you reach? Can you loosen that up for him, Decker?
Loosen it,
Twist that
Decker.
top there.
Twist
Okay.
it. Twist
See,
the top.
This is the low budget show. We kind of just we make it all up on the fly. But since Frank is joining us here today, he is our resident. Oh gosh, come on, Decker. Come on, Decker.
Look at pull with all your might.
Oh, by the way, let me give a little, while they're playing with the microphone, I'll give a little context for Decker. He was actually the first ever intern at BitBoy Crypto. He's also our resident Generation Z representative. How old are you, Decker?
21.
21. Just
21?
Yeah, he started in crypto at 17. Was one of the first people to reach out to us and finished college. Very smart guy. But anyway, having him joining us here today. He does a lot of our accounting and data research here at BitBoy Crypto, but been involved for a long time. But Frank, any trades open right now? Any trades over the weekend? What's going on with the Mafia? Just give us a little update.
Yeah, so we actually today just started our FEMEX trading competition. So I'm super pumped about that. We have a killer team. We have like 80 people on our team right now. So it's gonna be super, super cool. I think we're in like 3rd or 4th place right now. So happy about that. It just started. I am in an Ethereum short right now. And because it's a competition, I probably should be staring at my computer right now, but I had to hop on the basement. But obviously, we've seen crypto come up pretty aggressively over the past week. So I always tell people nothing goes up forever. We do have Market Cypher B showing some bearish signals. Not saying we're going down to 0, but it would be a pretty good place to cool off a little bit here. So right now, I do have an Ethereum short open for that competition. So yeah, rooting. Hopefully, the Candle Mafia can take home this dub.
Ooh.
There you go. Go Candle Mafia. And I just realized you need to be a follower. Oh, anyway, in the chat. Interesting. Okay, so you have to be. I didn't know. If you want to talk in the chat, you need to follow the channel. So make sure to talk in the chat. If you have any Q&A, please feel free to drop it in there. We love to answer your questions. Thank you for the new follow there. But yeah, I have to eat, guys. I got no time to eat lunch. So
We love
just don't
those.
mind me if I'm munching away in the background back here. So yeah, Bitcoin volatility, definitely a lot coming up this week. I'm going to start with the white paper a little bit. So real quick poll. Go to the wide shot. I want 100% pure honesty. Jesus knows if you're lying. Raise your hand if you've actually read the white paper from start to finish. Bitcoin's white paper from start to finish. I want to know. I have.
Not me. Not me at the board.
Nobody
Not this
here.
guy.
This morning?
I feel so bad.
Have you read it?
This morning I read the abstract.
You read the abstract. Okay.
Nice.
That's something. Okay, so this is a perfect topic. I don't know how many of you guys at home have read the white paper. I would highly recommend it. It won't take you that long. It's only a few pages. It's well worth the time. It is the paper that probably changed our generation, our lifetime, humanity as we know it. So 14 years since the Bitcoin white paper, why it matters. Let's see. Happy white paper day. Bitcoin's been 14 years. The cypherpunk mailing list with the subject, and this is from Satoshi Nakamoto. He sent it to just an email list, Bitcoin P2P eCash paper. The email included a link to the white paper and an outline of what would soon become a $1 trillion market. He says, I've been working on this new electric cash system that's fully peer-to-peer with no trusted third party. Here is I believe the actual email and the rough version of the white paper, and everybody is very focused. Where is the actual? Let's see. This is it. No, that's not it. Oh, now we're stuck in it.
Oh,
Can't get out.
trapped in the white paper. That's not a bad place.
We're gonna read it now.
We fixed it. Yeah. All right. Perfect. Yeah.
Raven
No,
boy.
I won't read through the whole thing. The speculative fervor that Bitcoin became known for still lingers, while Bitcoin's reputation as being a tool for illicit activity clings on, despite the fact that the United States dollar remains far and away a more effective tool for hiding financial activity. That's a good point to keep in mind. If you ever hear that, just know it's a completely debunked thing. In 2022, Bitcoin has evolved into so much more. Yada, yada, yada. On Bitcoin's 14th anniversary, and at the time, increasingly global financial inequality, the phrase Bitcoin is for anyone really resonates. There's plenty of great sentences in here. I know they used it in Ukraine for fundraising, and it was a great way for people to send funds there. Decentralization and empowerment. This is a great sentence from it. With the increased surveillance propagated by the state and huge centralized tech companies that control the majority of information distribution, it's more important than ever that we have decentralized alternatives that guarantee us basic freedoms. And I think that last line right there, decentralized alternatives that guarantee us basic freedoms. That's something that's why, obviously the big news since Friday has been the Eric Voorhees, Sam Bankman-Fried debate on decentralization versus licensure within the crypto space. And I think that sentence right there, decentralized alternatives that guarantee us basic freedoms, that is the core ethos of Bitcoin and crypto. Permissionless opportunities and options for people that have been cut off from the financial system is one of the most important parts. Let's see. I'll just keep skimming through this, man. A lot of Plan B references today. He came up a couple times in the morning stream during the this is the Plan B conference in Switzerland. Freedom was the central theme. Julian Assange family hosted talks about his incarceration for exposing military secrets, while speakers from Tom to Lebanon shed light on Bitcoin, the tool for financial freedom. That's a great, if you look that up, I think that's a great talk that they've done before. You can get that to come up on YouTube. Several announcements at the conference in Switzerland underscored the Bitcoin's community and commitment to freedom. Yada, yada, yada. Let's see. Why do you care about the Bitcoin white paper? And this is a CEO of Synonym and contributor to Peer Credit, called for calm and introspection on the anniversary of the white paper, who also, where's the actual, is it in a possible nod? I got to start highlighting these things. I'd rather associate it with when you bought your first Bitcoin or when you had your own eureka moment. Real like today, did I miss anything? No, we're just going through the history of the white paper. Ultimately, while Nakamoto's email on October 31st, 2008 marked the first brick in the foundations of the Bitcoin blockchain, its developers, the builders, the node runners, the miners, and Bitcoin buyers that have kept the idea alive. Bitcoin is indeed an effective form of remittance. Its spark that could ignite a path toward greater online freedoms, and its meaningful shift away from centralized powers. But Bitcoin is also a long line of code that millions of people worldwide choose to follow and contribute to every single day. So I just wanted to take a minute. We should go back and read through it. I mean, man, I'm sweating like crazy. It's hot in this thing, but yeah. Hi, Mr. Meeseeks. I always want to call him Mr. Meeksies, but so I do encourage everybody to go back and read through that white paper. There's a lot of inspirational lines, and there's a lot that I think needs to be echoed, especially when we're talking about how much regulation is coming down the line. And I think that was a big disconnect between Voorhees and Sam Bankman-Fried is permissionless. Basically anybody having access to this, not just anybody the United States likes, but anybody in the world globally, no matter who you are, can run this software, can access this software without somebody giving you permission, without going through some KYC thing, without being on a list, whether it's OFAC or whatever that is. And that's something that Bitcoin provides, and it's going to be a critical part of humanity. And as long as it's available as an option, it creates free market opportunity for people that need it, and it creates people. Even if you have a competitor or other chains, the fact that there's a free market permissionless chain out there means people have an option. So I think that's really important to me. So I just wanted to take a second today, since it is Bitcoin's birthday. We're talking about that moment. Just let's go around real quick. Decker, let me hear your kind of rabbit hole moment when you had that eureka moment for you in Bitcoin. When, like what was it that like clicked in your mind that made you got it that says, okay, I'm all in Bitcoin and I'm not looking back?
Yeah. So, well, I first got into. Sorry, I'm not used to handling mics.
It's all right.
I first
Frank
got
can show you
into-
just how to touch it.
Yeah, I get you.
I know, right? So I first got into. Thanks.
Uh-oh. Decker always smells good.
Anyway, appreciate that. Anyway, no. So I first bought into crypto in 2018 or 2017. Whenever XRP hit like $3, I bought the top. You know, and I'm not ashamed to admit that. I didn't really even think about Bitcoin. Like I was just looking at XRP because it was in the news, right? Until this, actually, I would say the GameStop fiasco, believe it or not, is when I got back into Ethereum and whatnot when I started watching BitBoy again. But after what I saw happen with GameStop and the manipulation in the markets, I was like, yo, maybe I should look at something that can't be manipulated. Like, of course, there's whales and whatnot. We know that. But I was interested in the fact that, again, it's permissionless, peer-to-peer global payment system rather than, you know, you're buying a stock, which is just, you know, the value of the stock in the company today. I felt like there's much more value in Bitcoin itself, and it couldn't be manipulated as much when in the same sense. So that's kind of my foray into Bitcoin, and now I'm all in. So.
All right, Mr. Meeseeks, how did you come to Bitcoin, and why did you stick with it? Now you're gonna have to talk a lot in that voice. Good luck.
Well, the thing here is about being a Meeseeks. Around 6 years ago, my friend and I got in a car accident, and I got a paycheck for $6,000. My friend Eric said, "Buy Bitcoin," and I said, "I can't even buy dinner yet." And I did the math, and if I would have bought Bitcoin, it'd be worth around $3 million. And I wish I bought it. And then I learned about it later on, and now I really like it a lot.
All right. There you go. Great answer. So, I mean, so far, both of you were drawn into Bitcoin for the potential gains, the potential upside, and really changing your financial future.
I would have not sold it.
Yeah, you would have not.
Sir.
Okay. Frank, what about you? How did you come into Bitcoin, and, you know, why, when did it click, you know, kind of how important it is, why it matters, all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, I kind of similar to Decker. I got in. It was either 2016 or 2017. I want to say it was 2017. I was always into stocks, but never really was like super active in trading stocks. The one thing I didn't like about stocks was that the market closed, and then I found out about crypto in 2016. Probably bought in about 2017, and then realized that crypto was open 24/7. And that was basically it for my life. And then I just basically became like crypto was a part of my life since then. You know, wasn't full-time crypto at the time, obviously, because I just found it. But since then, it's always been a part of my life. I always had to like try to hide my charts at work. I talked to TJ about this a lot. Like, you used to have to hide your charts at work, and now it's like, you know, if somebody walked past my desk now, they'd be like, "Hey, why don't you have a chart up?"
Yeah.
So yeah, that's basically how I got in. First coin I ever bought was XRP. Shout out to the XRP army. But yeah, you know, I always saw the importance of having a decentralized like financial system, and just the decentralized aspect of blockchain in general. I immediately saw why that was so important. And it was definitely, I will say, probably more from a trading aspect and investing aspect is why I got in. But as I learned more about the technology, I realized actually how important the technology was, which just put me behind it even more. So yeah, that's basically how I got in. And now I'm just, yeah, now it's basically my life. So, but yeah, it's awesome.
There you go. Drew, real quick. Actually, I'll do mine real quick since you're already on my shot. I forget, those of you who haven't heard this story, I got into Bitcoin actually through both my dad and my brother. They were both into crypto before I was. They bought Ethereum very early on. The first run up when it was sub $200. I think it was, I want to say late 2016, maybe early 20. It was probably early 2017, and I got in probably, you know, mid 2017 ish. But my brother was a gold bug for a long time, and somebody's like, "Oh, there's this Bitcoin thing called, you know, it's something like this digital gold." So he brought it to my dad, who had a long tech background. He's actually our CFO here today. So he's been in technology for a really long time. So my brother is more of the precious metals guy. Said, "Hey, you know, I don't know about this tech stuff. I don't want to get scammed. You know, can you look at this? Is this a legitimate technology, or am I just going to send this money here and it's going to be gone?" My dad actually looked into it, and he, at the time, was building out virtual workstations for a big hospital group here in Georgia. So he understood the virtual computing world very well and got real excited about Ethereum, the process of mining, and that whole concept. So you know, they were all hot and talking about it, like, oh man, this could change the whole financial system. This could change the way the whole world works. And then once I kind of got in mid 2017, I'd say, you know, I watched, I think it was called Banking on Bitcoin with Netflix. My dad actually sat down and said, hey, I think you should check this out. Let's watch this together. We watched it out. And yeah, it really just, it clicked with me immediately. Went down YouTube rabbit hole, went down, you know, research rabbit hole, started doing, you know, basically realizing like, oh my gosh, this technology is going to change the entire world. It's going to change the internet as we know it. It's going to change social media as we know it. It's going to change identity as we know it, payments as we know it. And so if I really believe all this stuff, I need to go all in on it. So I immediately, you know, started liquidating and, you know, transferring. I had a mutual fund that had a little bit of, you know, stuff in it that was like a Roth IRA that I could take stuff out of with really not much penalty. So it didn't take me long to go all in, you know, probably right around the top. By the time I got to doing the IRA stuff was probably December, January. So bought the top, you know, followed it all the way down 2018, 2019, accumulated more, went through 2021 and all that stuff. So here we are, you know, a couple cycles in, ready to do it all over again. But it really was the scarcity, the math, you know, the supply and demand that really made sense to me. The fact that you could have an option that was separate from any government. You know, I could see kind of the trade wars stuff going around all around the world and the way we used, you've probably heard me say this a million times, but if you haven't watched this yet, go to YouTube, type in Andreas Antonopoulos, Money as a System of Control, and it really helped. You know, it's only a 15-minute talk, but hearing him talk through it really helped me understand, like, wow, okay, we use the US dollar as a weapon, and we use banks as a weapon and as a tool to get control and to get people to do what we want them to do. And, you know, that's not sustainable. Eventually, people are going to want a way out from underneath that thumb. Technology's brought us there now, and, you know, we're seeing that play out on a game theory on a global scale. So I could kind of see this takes inflation and kind of flips it on its head. Right now, you were working against the clock because you had to outpace inflation, and it was working against you at a faster and faster rate, and it felt like you could never catch up with supply and demand. If you could flip that and make time work on your side instead of against you, you just accumulate slowly more over time. And then, you know, every 4 years you get a huge leg up financially instead of having to chase that thing. And, you know, it was immediate for me. Not to say I didn't have my doubts in the bottoms of the bear market in 2018 and 2019, but at this point, it's very easy to see this is here to stay. It's a technology that's here to stay. It's going to be the foundation of the new internet. It's going to be the foundation of the new financial payment system. And you're still early. It's going to take time to build it out. We're going to be talking about this for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Your kids are going to use it all, and we're going to be the beneficiaries because we were in first. We were the visionaries that saw it, and let's go to the moon together. All right. Yeah. Drew, did I come to you? Sorry, I was a little bit of a rant, but Drew, what do you got?
Yeah, that was good. No, don't be sorry. First of all, hopefully these fine folks in the chat can hear me, but
Yeah.
by the time March 2020 rolled around, I had found a few different ways to get silenced on social media. And, you know, during that time, I just saw a huge opportunity to get involved with cold storage of Bitcoin. That was the most, and still is the most appealing part about Bitcoin to me, is being able to hold my own keys, kind of operate, you know, sovereignly from the mainstream system, just in case they don't like my opinion next week and we got a whole new set of things to abide by. So it's a really good way to protect my value for my family, and I'm sticking to it. So
All right. And real quick, Allie?
Well, I'm not really in Bitcoin, to be
Oh.
honest with you. I bought XRP, pretty much at the top like Decker. And I'm waiting for next year to buy the dip. I'll buy some Bitcoin then.
All right. Well, that's perfect. And we did hit everybody, right? We got Frank, we got
Indeed.
Mr. Meeseeks. All right, perfect. That actually leads us to what could be potentially our next dip. Bitcoin volatility incoming. 4 things to watch over the next 10 days. The first 10 days for the new month will be quite eventful for the U.S. You know, obviously, new month starts tomorrow with the the latest FOMC meeting, CPI numbers, and midterm elections, all scheduled to take place within this time frame. So what will happen in the U.S. soon? The month kicks off with a Federal Reserve meeting, which is on the 2nd, which is Wednesday. Most expectations suggest that the nation's central bank will double down on its 2022 monetary policy and raising the key interest rate this time by 75 basis points. This would be in line with Goldman Sachs estimations that the Fed will eventually hike the interest rates to about 5%. Real quick, before I keep reading, any district, everybody pretty much agrees they're going to raise it 0.75 basis points or 75 basis points. Yeah. Okay. Nobody thinks 1. Nobody thinks 0.5. Yeah. Seems pretty widely accepted. It's going to be 75 basis points. Just 2 days after that, U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics is set to announce the latest non-farm payroll data, which is going to be big for October. This covers the number of new jobs created during the previous month in all non-agricultural businesses. So new jobs is very important, and realistically, we want to see that be going down right now. The U.S. will also conduct midterm elections on November 8. Everybody knows that's really big. We've been watching, just historically, Bitcoin generally bottoms just not long after the midterm elections. So we've been looking at that date for a long time for a bottom. The Democrats have been primarily in charge up until now, but this could change for the final 2 years of Biden's administration. Generally, when the economy is in bad shape, we do tend to see change, but we shall see. And then lastly, CPI numbers for October will be announced on November 10th. As of now, the expected numbers are for an 8.1 year-over-year inflation rate increase. So that might be more of the crapshoot. Let me ask you guys on that one. Do you think we will hit 8.1 like as expected, be a little bit worse or a little bit better? Frank, what do you think?
I honestly,
Into the mic.
I think it's basically a coin toss. At this point, I've just kind of been telling people, it's like, especially right now, it's been such a big debate: is the bottom in yet or not? And my gut, I will say, my gut says that we have bottomed. However, just because of, I don't know. Short answer is I'll just come out straight. I have no idea. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's a coin flip at this point. Even this week, I've been telling everybody, be careful. There's going to be a lot of volatility this week, and everyone's like, well, do you think it's going to go up or going to go down? And at this point, it is a coin flip in my opinion. And there's really the best thing to do at this specific moment is to be ready in either case. And that's of course, this has to be happening when we have the FEMEX trading competition going on. So hopefully we don't get any crazy. I mean, it could work out in our favor too. So we could, if it goes the right way, we could wind up getting a really big move. But right now, it really is just a coin flip. I mean, things are just crazy, and a lot of the volatility really depends on these meetings. When
you're trading in a competition or something like that, you got a lot of volatility coming. Do you generally what kind of time frame are you looking at right now in a scenario like that?
So for the competition, kind of the way I'm going to play this one specifically, because of the volatility that we're likely to have this week, is it's probably just going to be I'm going to play it pretty aggressively, but with very, very tight stops. So basically, I'm trying to get very accurate levels and catch the bottoms and catch the tops with higher to medium leverage to get those quick high percentage gains and just lock out the bag and jump out of the trade. So that's basically, I want to be very attentive, I want to be very engaged when I'm trading. So I'm basically going to be sitting there on the lower time frames, trying to scalp on higher leverage and just jumping in and out and grabbing those small percentage gains over the next 2 weeks.
There you go. No, and Chemistry Bro in the chat saying, what's up, Frankie?
Hey, Chemistry Bro.
He said, you never checked my Discord with the DM with the 3D candle character. You got to check that one out.
Yes, I actually, Chemistry Bro, I actually did see that. I did not have a chance to answer you, but I did see it. I will answer you today, right after Blockchain Basement.
All right, and we got another question. We'll save it for the end from Chef Crypto. So let me read real quick the impact of Bitcoin. So with these events chronologically and historically, to see how they impact Bitcoin and the entire market, the FOMC meetings this year have been essential for the asset class. Each has brought enhanced volatility. I will say generally to the downside with double-digit percentages in a matter of hours. And I would tend to think, if I was trading right now, I'd be looking to short this move. Not financial advice, not 100%. I'm just saying that's what I would do if I was in this competition. Obviously depending on what the setup looks like tomorrow as they're going into it. But I think generally I'm going to be short. Even in cases when the actual interest rate hike is precisely the same as the expectations, the experts believed it would already be priced in. That has rarely been the case. As such, traders should be wary at the start of November for more price fluctuations. What they're saying is even when the market is expecting a specific raise and they're saying it's priced in, we still see action to the downside after it happens, which is very logical and makes sense if you think about the cost of money getting more expensive, the rates on loans going up, people are going to have less free money to be stimulating the economy, so to speak. So generally speaking, the payroll data should be least impactful. Nevertheless, if the final numbers are way below expectations, that could change things. But really, the midterm elections are the dark horse. The Biden administration, with Democrats dominating the scene, has put the crypto industry under its scope with a few executive orders, from the beginning of the year and earlier, or kind of in the middle of the year, directives and proposed regulations, which has obviously been the hot topic recently, the proposed regulations. What's going to be included? When's it going to be done? People were hoping it could be potentially done before the midterm elections. Now it's looking like early 2023, Q1 or Q2, which I will say, generally speaking, tends to be, I would say, the longest on the timeline for people to think that could be the end of the bear market if it gets dragged out that far. So let's see. However, the situation could change if the Republicans take over. I can't really see that being too dramatic. I would say most of the crypto regulation is fairly bipartisan. Both sides think we need to regulate things well. The CPI numbers, similar to the FOMC meetings, have also resulted in immediate price reactions. So yeah, those would be the two I would watch: the CPI numbers and obviously the federal rate hike. We've seen it in the past that missing the expected percentages by as much as 0.2 could lead to $1,000 moves for Bitcoin. So that's generally what's going to be coming up. Obviously, that goes through November 10th. We've got the rate hike, most likely. And then there is another FOMC meeting in December. Let me ask you guys this. I'm thinking after they raise 0.75, that should hit their target that they laid out for the year. I think they're going to stop raising in December. They're going to just hold the rate there. But one decision, either to raise again or to lower, I think would have a dramatic effect. Do any of you see anything other than them just remaining in December? Another raise, a hold, a decrease? Thoughts? Drew?
I got some thoughts.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Well, my first thought is maybe Nancy Pelosi's husband called the bottom. Second thought is I think their original target was 4.5. Now it's 5.
Mm-hmm.
So,
okay. So you're saying the next step 0.75 puts us at 4.5?
yeah. And
Okay.
the Goldman Sachs increased target to 5% is telling me that they're going to continue raising possibly into February from what it looks. But that's just my thought.
No, that's good. So Mr. Meeseeks?
It's getting weird.
Sure is.
Basically, they printed too much money, and now we all have to pay for it. And it's all really worth nothing anyway. There's no way that the bottom's in yet. It's gonna keep going down for at least another year.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry to say it, but it's true.
I agree with you, Mr. Meeseeks.
Okay, we got more. We got 2 people saying more pain ahead. Also, Chef Crypto in the chat saying he hammered the bottom. Also, someone called the bottom on Paul. That's pretty good.
It's just a
It's out
theory.
the window.
Yeah, and I can definitely hear that. I mean, I'll say this: 2019 was long, it was slow, and it was painful, and there was a lot of reasons for everybody to feel like things were going to start going back up. They were printing a lot of money, and it wasn't. Yeah, I appreciate him saying it. Yeah, he does do the voice very well. I have to say, it's a good
Look
Mr.
at
Meeseeks.
me.
And so history would say next year is going to be long, slow, and boring. It could range between 14 and 20 pretty easily. Like, I'd like to see it range between 20 and 28 all year, but that, that's not really, if you think about ranging between 7 and 10 when the previous all-time high was 20, it sounds a lot better like us ranging between, really as low as 10 to 14, 14 to 20, something like that. So, and all of that could play out by another rate hike, some regulation that sounds really bad. If that regulation goes through early 2023, it could cause another crash, and then we'll have to build and grow out of it. I still think 2024 and 2025 will be one of the biggest moves that the crypto market has seen as far as the blow off top. And hey, another sub. Appreciate the subscribers. And also, guys, yeah, always, we're trying to spread the word on Twitch. If I haven't mentioned that already yet, that, thank you for our partners at Twitch. Evan Aldo, Crypto Weatherman, and It's Joshua Jake are also in our group. Be sure to check their channels out. We love spreading the word of crypto onto as many different platforms as possible. So anybody, if you guys could follow, subscribe, they are looking at those numbers. So we really appreciate that. Or if you have any friends, that like, crypto content, send them on over here. Or also gaming content, Hit Network Gaming, be sure to check that out as well. They do live streams, gameplay live streams every night at 9 o'clock, and other live streams as well. So we'll talk about, beyond regulation, and we're going to move along a little bit. Oh, that's Bill Gates getting pregnant over there. But Cardano founder on on Elon Musk, Doge, and Twitter. If you're crazy and rich, you can make it work. So people, obviously the big story over the weekend, Dogecoin pumped over 50%. On Elon Musk obviously acquired Twitter on Friday. A lot of speculation that he could be including Dogecoin into Twitter. We'll look real quick at what Cardano, IOHK, Charles Hoskinson said. So Cardano's former director of architecture. And Algorand's, the CTO at Algorand, John Woods, believes that it would be a real shame if Elon Musk integrated Dogecoin into Twitter, apparently thinking that native coins of Cardano and Algorand are much better candidates for that. Innovation is part of Doge in question. Woods responded to the tweet. Yeah, so that's basically, here's where you can see Charles Hoskinson says, now that Twitter's in the hands of Elon Musk, I can see a real possibility that Doge will somehow merge with the platform. And then John Woods said, basically, that'd be a shame. They could do it as a native coin on Cardano. Then Charles threw out the idea of potentially a side chain on Cardano, giving Dogecoin the scalability it would need, and proof of stake, and all that sort of stuff. So I know there's a lot of people. Matt Wallace, we've had on the channel before, big fan of Dogecoin. There's a lot of Doge holders out there. Ben has gone out saying he's not going to be buying any Dogecoin just simply because it's a meme coin. So Frank, where do you stand on that? Obviously you're a trader. There is volatility. There are big moves. Not to make it the Frank show, but I'm just curious, I just want to hear from you. What do you think about trading Dogecoin?
It's funny. This is like the 5th time I've been asked this question. I feel like today is people ask me, I don't hold Dogecoin. And it's not because I think it's a scam or I think I'm going to lose all my money. I just don't really invest in, I don't invest in meme coins really. And calling Dogecoin a meme coin is kind of weird. I feel like it's the blue chip meme coin.
I would agree.
Yeah, I'm not saying, I don't trust it or anything. I just like to invest in solid projects that have real good use case, which it looks like Doge, if they incorporate it into Twitter, it might have some use case. But I will trade Doge. It's not a coin that I frequent, but I will totally, if I see a good setup on Doge, I will 100% trade it. I think I heard DZ say it one time. I don't hate it. I don't date it. I just trade it.
There you go.
And I want to get that tattooed on me because I think it's super important, especially in crypto. A lot of people like to get fanatical about their favorite coins. And I don't hate it. I don't date it. I just trade it. If the setup is there, I will trade the charts. But yeah, I don't hold it. If I bought Sheeb, if I bought Doge, I would have made a whole lot more money. Sure. But yeah, it's something I don't really buy. But I think if they do incorporate it into Twitter, actually, when the Twitter stories with Elon Musk were first starting to blow up, we were kind of talking like, are they going to incorporate Doge into Twitter? So I think, listen, if they do that, I think it not only is obviously going to be good for the price of Doge.
One more sub in 40 seconds, and we get a hype train. Come on, we need
come
one
on.
more
Let's
sub
get
for a
one
hype
more.
train.
Ooh,
Everybody
come on.
loves the hype
Sub.
train.
Come on.
Sub if you like Doge.
Come on. All right, go ahead. Keep going.
But yeah, what was I saying?
You were looking at Doge. You trade it sometimes.
Yeah, I'll trade it sometimes. I don't hold it. I would have made a lot of money if I bought it. But yeah, I just like to buy. I don't buy meme coins.
Yeah, for those that don't, you can hop in a second, Decker, but just pull up the chart here real quick. For those of you who don't know, it was obviously sitting at 7 or 8 cents in the last week, pumped all the way up to 13, 14 cents. It's sitting around 12 right now, but there you go. That'll show you a little bit of kind of what it looked like. So go ahead, Decker. What are your thoughts on Doge? You traded? Do you know? Oh, there we go. There's the sub just in time for the hype train. There we go. Hype train coming in. Woo, woo, woo. I don't know what we're supposed to do with the hype train.
We need to like have a thing we do.
Yeah, we need a thing, a dance party. I was the 69th viewer from the moment there. Noise. Also, Mr. Techno Goody. All my crypto friends are here, and my regular friends. I don't get it. Yeah, we got Corey Harden. We got Raven Boy Crypto. All the regulars in the house. It's a party. It's Halloween. Go ahead, Decker. Talk about Dogecoin, and then we're gonna talk about candy.
Yeah, yeah. All I was gonna say. Well, first of all, I don't own any Dogecoin. It's not pretty much the same exact reason as Frankie. But what I was really kind of wanted to say is that I think it was John Woods who had that retweet or that comment. I think Elon Musk's the whole point of Dogecoin and his fascination is like the antithesis of what John Woods said, and like, oh, it would be best for it to be Algorand or a sidechain or Cardano. Well, of course, and Elon knows like there are better systems. That's the whole reason why he wants Dogecoin, because he thinks everybody's all, well, this is my opinion. He thinks everything's all kind of stuck up. And so I think he's like, that's the whole reason it would be Dogecoin and not Algorand or you know, HBAR or something like that.
Yeah, I
Because
agree.
it is a meme.
Yeah, and I don't know if you saw Charles' response to it. It fits that perfectly. Charles responded to John and said, yeah, it's like a person who decides they want to build a house in a certain place because they like the view. Never mind the terrible soil, snake problem, loud road, unstable cliff nearby, flooding, and fire ants. But if you're crazy rich, you can make it work. And I think that's kind of what he was saying. And I agree. I think the novelty and the fun factor of Dogecoin, the fact that it did start as a meme, is what's entertaining for Elon Musk in this whole situation. You know, like, if I could take this thing that started as an internet joke and turn it into a global currency or something major that powers my app, like, that'd be hilarious and awesome. And I think that's kind of where his head's at, and tend to agree with Charles there. And I appreciate that approach, because sometimes, you know, the unexpected is what's going to make it work. So, Mr. Meeseeks, did you already comment on Dogecoin?
Not yet.
All right. Anything to add?
But really fast, I do like Doge, but I want sheep to pump because I feel really bad for my uncle. Oh, 1 second. Jerome Powell's calling me.
Oh, gosh.
Hello? You're gonna do what? What? You're gonna tank the market.
No!
Your mistakes are your own, old man.
That's right. Tell him. Tell him. Yeah, I could see, I'm really torn on this Dogecoin situation. I definitely think it will have a good run in this next bull market, simply because of the pump-a-metals, and people that like to market will push the narrative that Elon Musk is incorporating it into Twitter. They might do it just, you know, like, if they're going to be incorporating any ERC20s, might as well make it Doge compatible. Just, again, it's great for free marketing. If anybody understands free marketing, or earned media as they call it, it's Elon Musk. How to take something that's unrelated to what you're doing and use that to generate a lot of attention for your goal. And I could see Dogecoin fitting that extremely well. So I think it will be included. I think it will. Yeah, it's not DZ. It's AJ writes crypto, but he said we can't call him that.
Who's that?
Yeah, it's he's just
I
Mr.
don't know who
Meeseeks,
that
guy.
is.
It's Mr. Meeseeks. You can't call him anything other than that. So yeah, so it's tough. I think there's some money-making opportunities there, but I will say be very careful. I do think it has, like, it went all the way to 70 cents in the last bull market. So, you know, that's crazy to think about. It was sitting at 7 or 8, so that's an easy 10x. I mean, a lot of people doubled their money, but you got to know what you're doing. You got to take profits when it pumps like that. Don't diamond hand it. Don't, you know, like, if you have $1,000 that turns into $10,000, not financial advice, but I'm taking 8 back out, you know, and you still got double of your money in there or something like that, you know. So don't do that. Don't do backwards math is another thing I would recommend. Don't start doing the math on, oh, if I had held this when it pumped here, I'd have this. Just look at what you have and look forward with it. So if you want to put a moon bag in Doge, I'd wait for it to kind of draw down a little bit if you could off this most recent pump. But yeah, sure, throw a few $100 in there and forget about it until, you know, what? Let's see, May 2025, and then check in on that. So that's my take on it. I do think he will incorporate it. I do think it will always be relevant in crypto culture. I feel like it's not just going to go away. Sheeb might go away. A lot of the other meme coins will probably go away, but I think Doge will remain as part of crypto's lore. And even if it's just Elon Musk pumping it, I don't think he's the only one that gets a kick out of seeing Doge succeed, though. I think that is kind of the stick it to the man kind of mentality of crypto, of like, hey, you guys all think it's a joke, you say it's impossible, well, watch this, watch what the internet can do when it bands together. And I think part of that ethos will stay around in crypto. You know, but Algo has a lot. Yeah, I see it. Corey,
You watch your mouth, Corey.
yeah, Algo is
Not nice.
that's hilarious.
Meeseeks, he's gonna be seeking.
So, all right, let's see, just how are we doing on time? That's pretty much all I had set aside to talk about for today. But if anybody has anything else to jump in with, I guess we could. Yeah, if anybody else has anything to jump in with, let us know. Oh, that's what I was going to ask for. Since it's Halloween, what is your favorite trick-or-treat Halloween candy, unless Frank had something actually relevant to say?
I just wanted to add on to what you said before about the regulation, talking about making lower lows.
Yeah.
That's kind of another situation, like a likely situation that I see. Like, if this next bull run is going to be the regulatory bull run where we see, you know, like, this is going to be the bull run that goes absolutely crazy. A likely case that I see is that, you know, we get the announcement of crypto regulation. It scares everybody insanely. absolutely wrecks the market before obviously everybody kind of realizing that we need regulation to grow crypto into what we want it to actually be. And then that's what kicks off the actual bull run. Again, not looking at that until about 2024, 2025. But I think that regulatory dip can be that thing if it's not going to be this crazy macro stuff that we have going on.
No, I agree. I agree 100%. I do think regulation will be that fear factor that causes everybody to sit on their cash and their money. Also, the Naked Canadian, yes, this is the after show thingy. This is what we call Blockchain Basement. We go live right after the morning live show, generally around 1 o'clock. This is obviously a Halloween special where we've got lots of fun in the basement. But yeah, basement's always fun. We're still trying to come up with a logo and all that kind of stuff, some other socials. But you said you had some questions?
Yeah, let's go to the Q&A from 75901. What will the loss of all of the miners due to going insolvent due to the price of Bitcoin?
Okay, so I think he's talking about Core Scientific. That's not necessarily all the miners. That is a major mining facility that could potentially go insolvent. Generally speaking, what happens when that... Whoa, that's something big. Generally speaking, when somebody goes insolvent, they start selling off their assets. That could cause a temporary dip in the hash power of Bitcoin, but I think it'll get sucked up pretty quickly. Anybody else have any comments on hash rate and when miners go insolvent? No?
Well, I mean, I was just thinking it's kind of the Core Scientific potential buyout from FTX is super concerning to me because, I mean, I was used to be a gold bug. I don't know if everyone's figured that out, but I used to joke that it wasn't the gold miners that got rich during the gold rush. It was the guy selling the shovel and owning the roadway and the access to the gold. So it is a little concerning to see that you might be looking at.
Yeah, so FTX, for those of you who don't know, I think we covered it on this show, is circling the wagons of Core Scientific, potentially being liquidated. And it was also has an impact on BlockFi as well, it looks like, because Core Scientific had a major loan to BlockFi that doesn't look like they're going to be getting paid back.
Right.
So lot going on with insolvencies. I think we saw the majority of it when Celsius, Three Arrows Capital, Terra Luna, all of that, and then Voyager and all those insolvencies hit at once. I wouldn't be worried we're going to see anything similar to that, but I do think we will slowly see companies within this industry get absorbed by larger, more stable ones. Right?
Next question, Crypto Absorber. Focusing on the crypto universe, not the tangents, what is being done to achieve the goal of a free market while preventing fraud?
What was the last part? What was the goal of what?
What is being done to achieve the goal of a free market while preventing fraud?
I mean, I would say, that's different chain by chain. Obviously, different blockchains have different initiatives for, I would say, increasing decentralization. So on Bitcoin specifically, more people running nodes. There's more nodes run on that network than almost any other network. So getting decentralized stake pool operators obviously out and operating for things like Ethereum, for things like Cardano. So yeah, that was a deep question for a Halloween show. I saw it earlier in the chat, but it doesn't hurt to come back to it. There are a lot of different chains. Not all chains, I would say, have a #1 focus on decentralization. Clearly, Cardano, that's a big focus for them. Clearly, Bitcoin, that's a big focus. Ethereum is becoming more and more decentralized. Some would argue maybe not with Ethereum Web Services and consensus and some of that kind of stuff. But all chains have, I would say, some areas of centralization or some areas that are less centralized than others. But many chains are doing a lot of different things on a technical level to get more decentralized. I hope that answers your question. That's kind of an open-ended discussion question in a lot of different ways. But I think you meant from a regulatory perspective. Oh, from a regulatory perspective, I think I would recommend you watch that interview with Sam and Eric from Friday. It's on Bankless Podcast. When it comes to scams, there already is plenty of regulation. I think Eric says it very well. Scams are illegal. You can't run scams in the United States. There's already regulation around that. It's already very easy and clear to define. If you're scamming people, that's against the law. You can't be doing it. They should be going after those things. Unfortunately, they don't seem to be as focused on the scams where the regulation is already in place. They seem more focused on trying to add regulation to these other projects that aren't scams. And they're trying to say, how do we stop any scam from ever happening on Ethereum? That's like saying, how do you stop any scam from ever happening on Facebook? Well, you don't try to shut down Facebook. You just try to put some requirements and some licenses. And I think that's kind of the approach they're trying to take is, if everybody needs a license to do this stuff, and that's the wrong approach.
Right.
You need to figure out how to create open innovation on certain chains and allow people to make mistakes and not try to prevent anybody from ever making a mistake, because that is by definition over regulation. Yeah, so go after the BitConnects, go after the I think it was Plus token that was a giant scam in China and things like that. So there's definitely this is a very nuanced conversation, definitely a lot that's going to be coming out when it comes to the regulation side of things. So I would say regulate centralized things like exchanges. You can do KYC, but all that's already in place.
Right.
You know, they're already being regulated. So it's not what I would say is we don't need to rush new regulation as it applies to DeFi and decentralized applications, or we're going to be in a world of pain.
Absolutely.
D-Bear said, can I get a top 3 coins for all of you?
Ooh. All right. We'll try to do it quick. You can't defend your picks too much. You're just going to have to go 1, 2, 3. Did he define a time range? Because no, that's very important, guys. Time matters when you're picking coins. But if he didn't, we'll just say through the next bull run, say through 2024, 2025. So top 3 coins to pick over the next, we'll say 2.5 years. Who wants to start?
I can go first.
All right,
I
Decker.
was thinking about this.
Rip it and
I
rip it.
hate to be boring, but Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano.
All right.
I love them.
No, those aren't bad picks. Those are your like long-term accumulation in general?
They literally are my top 3. And I just like the usability of Cardano and Ethereum, and then Bitcoin is the actual store of value I like using. And so that's kind of make money elsewhere, put it into Bitcoin, and then hodl the war chest until the day I die.
Mr. Techno Goody said, boring.
Sorry.
All right, Frank, top 3.
I was gonna be boring too, but I'll go a little more exciting. XRP, Ethereum, and Algo. Shout out to AJ.
Ooh. There's me, Seeks.
That was an excellent decision, Frankie Candles. Good choice of words. My 3 best crypto coins: Algorand, Matic, and Engine.
Ooh, okay.
Engine. See, I'm not on that engine train.
It's coming.
I don't know.
Fine, Cosmos.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. Okay, so I was gonna go. Actually, I like Cole 8RTY. Adam, I'll go with his picks. Adam, Ethereum. I don't hold any H-bar right now, but it's been on my list of accumulating. I've already got some Algo. Near's a great pick. So here's me picking my 3, obviously. Near, Algo, Adam, H-bar, Ethereum. E-Gold is a sleeper.
Plenty.
That's a few. There you go. There's some picks for me. Drew, you got any quick picks?
Constellation DAG.
Constellation. Oh, actually, on that note, put it on the docket. I want you to give us a quick breakdown on the show on Constellation DAG of like why you turned bullish on DAG sometime either this week or next week. You think you can handle that?
Why I turned bullish?
Yeah, I want you to break down what you saw.
Okay.
Not right this second. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe the next one.
Oh yeah. So, but anyways, Constellation DAG to kick, stay down the line. I basically DAG, Cardano, and XRP. That's the only thing I'm buying until 25. So.
Tell Brian and Justin we miss them. All right, we'll let them know, Corey. Brian's been out of town. He's been doing some traveling and stuff. We'll be getting back with some meta money stuff here soon. What 3 are they listing off coins to keep? Yeah, top 3 coins for us that we like.
Chef Crypto said.
Gotta wrap it up.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Last question.
Question.
Will the SEC allow Twitter to adopt Dogecoin, or will the power of Elon's verbal pump and manipulation be, and the SEC consider it a security at that point?
SEC, and this is my answer, SEC's losing all power that they have. I don't think they could stop anything from happening on Twitter at this point, especially with the social fallout of somebody like Elon Musk. They just don't have the leverage. They can't afford another big loss. They won't take that one on.
Amen. I agree with that exact wording.
All right. Well, you guys, we have 69 people in the basement with us right now. You guys know that's our favorite number. We love having you guys here. We love Blockchain Basement. Please come back tomorrow, approximately 1 o'clock. Ask us some Q&A. Ask us some questions. Mr. Meeseeks. We got Zorro, a.k.a. Hamburglar, Bitcoin himself, the Wicked Witch, Harry, American Gangster.
I'm Mr. Meeseeks. Look at me. Happy Halloween.
Bye, guys.